In the last 6 years, I've done over 3 million in sales and over $80,000 on Shopify. And I really want to go over some of the key lessons that I've had with running Facebook ads and dropshipping stores. So the number one key factor in your success is ultimately going to be the creative that you're putting out. Now, the creative is the video or image that you're providing to Facebook and what they're going to showcase to people when you're running your ads and what's going to appear on their phones. So your ultimate job is to actually become a bit of a production company. Nowadays, marketing has changed and everything's on the iPhone. Now, what you have to really start to do is just to think that the modern era of marketing is exclusively on an iPhone and everything has to be optimized for the iPhone. So average products can kill it with excellent creative. I've seen so many people have shocking products that really you would have thought, or that will never really sell, but ultimately they become a massive success online, and that's simply due to the creative that they've put out and provided Facebook. The customer has engaged with the piece of creative and they like it enough to actually be able to purchase. And I've seen people put out rubbish products, but they have excellent creative, and this has ultimately led them to be able to have massive success with their dropshipping sites. So if ads aren't really worked on, I've also found that products in shops can die very quickly if you're not constantly replenishing and improving your creatives that you're putting out on Facebook. We understand that ads can have fatigue and that they can expire simply due to the number of times it's been showcased to someone. And ultimately what you're going to really want to start to work on once you've got something that's working is you want to double down and constantly improve your funnel. Now, you're going to do this by having new angles of marketing, new videos for your products, new images that are going to constantly be showcased on Facebook. And you have to understand that in your funnel, once you've managed to get people into your ecosystem of your brand, then you're going to have to showcase to them different touch points and different reasons why someone's actually going to buy from you. Facebook is ultimately going to know who to showcase, who to show the product to, who to show the different types of video ads, who to show the different types of image ads to at the right time. And your job is to ultimately serve Facebook through providing the best possible creative that you can generate. You have to think that ads are actually what the product is to the customer until they ultimately buy from you and have the product physically in their hand. So what they perceive the actual advert to be is the product that you're going to ultimately sell to. And with ads being so competitive, the creative is the main and only real way nowadays to actually stand out. I've seen so many different types of ads being generated, so many that haven't succeeded. I've tested so many that have done successful, and the ones that have done successful showcase something in a unique way. The way to stand out isn't exclusively by ripping, but by actually generating a different angle in which to market to. And this is how you're going to actually find a pool of customers that is actually able to purchase from you. Number two, volume is so much more important than perfection. So I remember when I had my first major successful ad, and we got a creator who was really big on TikTok, and we repurposed 9 pieces of creative that we paid for on a retainer basis for 3 months. Now these 9 pieces of creative are still running to this day. And what we constantly did, once we found that there was some fatigue, we would just change up the hook. We would take different elements from different pieces of the 9 videos that we paid for, and we'd mash them all up, and then they're still running to this day. And because there's so many good different marketing angles within the 9 videos that we had from this creator, we were able to touch different people within our funnel at different points. So trying 4 adverts and launching is only the start. When you're starting your dropshipping store, often you're going to be starting and you're going to give Facebook 4 to 5 pieces of creative, and you're just going to really be hoping. But what you really want to do is be patient, wait for the ads to actually reach an audience. And when you've got some success and you've got some feedback, you're getting good clicks to your website, maybe you've had a few purchases, maybe you're not scaling on the first 4 ads, but then you want to constantly be feeding your Facebook ads account with more and more creative. You're going to be able to scale much easier if you're providing Facebook so much more creative, because Facebook knows exactly who we want to be serving the adverts to at the right time. And if we have more different touch points, then Facebook is going to find the audience that are going to resonate the most with the advert by looking and providing Facebook and providing the customer who's viewing your adverts a different piece of creative at the right time. You want to spend way less time optimizing and in fact trying to find the perfect advert, but what you really want to start to do is just to provide Facebook more and more creative at the right time. You really don't need a big production budget, but you have to be resourceful. I learned that there's enough creative on TikTok and YouTube Shorts to get a shop up to $1,000 a day in sales quite quickly within a week to 2 week time frame, but you have to look and scrape through these tools and actually try and find the best pieces of creative possible. One of my biggest dropshipping stores that I ever had was a stolen piece of creative from TikTok, and it lasted over 7 months, but we constantly were getting DMCA'd, which is copyright claims from the owner, but we just kept on re-uploading it. We kept on changing something. For example, we were changing the music, we were changing the on-screen text at the very start. And I found that if there's enough creative on the internet, it's just about us being able to edit this up in the right way. And once you've found something that's successfully working, you really want to make unlimited variants of the exact same creative and just changing a couple of variables at a time. For example, changing the music on the video, changing the on-screen visual hook, changing the on-screen text. Number 3, you really want to start to look on your shop success on a cost per visitor and the actual overall shop profit and loss versus considering success on a ROAS on a single advert or a single campaign on your Facebook ads. Average adverts can really start to turn a good funnel profitable, providing you can get some good creative that hits the customer at the right point. And great ads into a non-existent funnel will actually mean that you end up burning money. You can spend all the time in the world perfecting the first ad, and you haven't got enough people for Facebook to showcase this product to, then you're ultimately just going to burn and waste money. So the goal, once you've actually launched your ad, is to get impressions and to acquire customers. Then you actually really fast want to improve your funnel, but you don't want to get carried away with the first batch of ads on your store and killing the store too quickly. What I mean by this is if you've put out 4 adverts and you've seen that over a 7-day time frame it's actually just broken even, as long as it's just broken even, then you really want to then pull back the thought of actually this is starting and not judge it on the first 7 days at break even, but look at this as actually as a win, and that if you change the angle of your adverts or if you introduce different pieces of creative into your funnel, because there's already people that have got impressions and have seen the brand or the shop in the last 7 days, then as long as you find a good piece of creative, you can actually get them over the line very quickly. For example, introducing some more videos or introducing some images that potentially have an offer, then you're really going to be able to start to get some return on your ad spend quickly. And once you've found that you have some profit, then you want to use the money that you've generated from the profit to introduce more adverts and to actually scale. You have to understand that it's a constant snowball when you're running Facebook ads. And you have to understand that every day that you're serving more adverts in front of people's eyes is actually a huge snowball effect. Facebook will ultimately find and retarget the people that have engaged with your brand the most through different pieces of creative, and every customer has a different touch point. You want to constantly improve your funnel as time goes on, as your campaigns optimize, and then you're going to find that the returns on your ad spend actually improve. And a key lesson that I've really learned in the last 5 years is audiences don't matter on Facebook. There's no need to do any interest targeting. Facebook is so much more smarter than we will ever be. We need to ensure that we let Facebook and the creative do the work to find the audience at the right time. You really want to target your audiences and niches through your ads. You want to call out your ideal customer. You want to find what pain points they have, what emotions that they have, and why they would actually buy from us. So you want to design your ads from the mind of the customer. Ask yourself what the customer would want to see, what problems can you solve for them, what issues do they currently have in their life, and you want to reverse engineer the advert from the thought and mind of the customer at the start, who doesn't yet know they actually have a problem. And the end solution and the end point of our advert is ultimately providing them a solution to their issue through buying our product.